Good morning, it's the 4th of May. My name's Mark here from Crypto Collective. I'm going to bring you today's technical breakdown. One of the questions that's come in this morning is the correlation between Ethereum and Bitcoin. So I've just brought up the chart of Ethereum and Bitcoin just so you can have a look and see where the correlation is and what we're likely to see over coming weeks and months. So this is on the weekly chart, and a couple of key points to note here is the price has been creating higher highs and higher lows. So what does that mean in terms of looking at Ethereum and Bitcoin? Well, in essence, I'd be looking at Bitcoin now to underperform against Ethereum because as we can see, this market movement is producing these higher highs and higher lows. So I would expect it to keep going. Next barrier is effectively this 0.09, so somewhere in and around this area. It doesn't mean that Ethereum is going to keep going in a straight line. It just means against the two, I would definitely be looking to buy Ethereum over Bitcoin in terms of any corrective move. So, you know, right now we're in a parabolic Ethereum move. So in essence, you want to be looking at trading Ethereum as opposed to Bitcoin because you're more likely to get better value. Obviously, once you see this market start to rotate lower, then you'll get more bang for your buck by buying Bitcoin. So I'm just dropping down the time frames here, and you can see we're still in an impulsive move on the daily chart. Drop down to the 4 hour, we're still impulsive, but you know, the further we go away in this one directional move, the more likely it is to start pulling back. So it's always good if you are trading any of these markets and you're trading them for income, is start thinking about how you're going to start protecting some of your gains, and or start thinking about the next potential move. So if there is any sort of corrective move like we've seen in the past, where you've seen it pull back in here or pull back in here, there's potential for it to pull back into this area here, and this is where you potentially want to be looking, say, right, well, if price is to pull back into this area, where does this correlate with on the ETH USDT chart or something like that, and start overlaying the chart so you can find better pricing points to get into these markets. I'm gonna head over to Bitcoin now because there's been quite a bit of talk and remarks for us to share our technical perspective on Bitcoin. So just bear with me while I remove a couple of these drawings. Okay, so we're focusing here on the weekly chart, and you know, right now we've been sat in this weekly range between sort of 45 to 62, but really if we look at these weekly closes here, the $60,000 price point, yes, we've spiked through, but we've come straight back within the same calendar week. So you can see that price point there, just under $60,000, is basically proven to be a cap on where the market will close within a weekly period. So any sort of weekly close above this, then we would expect to see further upside. But right now, I'm going to pull in 4 charts so you can look at them and look at this in time frame correlation, so you can start seeing how the markets move in synchronization, and sort of key price points to focus on. So top left we have the weekly chart, top right the 4 hour chart, bottom left 1 hour, and then the 15-minute. Now, one thing that you can see, and I'll always revert back to this, the simplest way of charting is focusing on highs and lows, because this will give you structure points to focus on. And here we can see the market's moved up, then we've basically formed a consolidation here. So the question is, are we going to move this way or are we going to start moving lower? And you know, no one's got a crystal ball to tell you that, but what we can start looking at is these cyclical moves here and start saying, right, okay, well, what do we notice? Well, there's been a shift here. We see a lower low. So this gives us a bit of warning that potentially we might see more lower lows until we start going back into the trend to the upside. If we come down to the 1 hour chart, you can see there's the low that was broken. We've got a nice downtrend here on the hourly chart. We've come back, we've retested what was resistance, and we've potentially sold off a little bit. Now, where do we start looking for longs and where do we start looking to continue the shorts? Well, essentially the momentum is predominantly to the upside. Now, if you are a shorter then and you want to sell this market, then fine, you can keep looking for these opportunities once it creates new lows. I'd be looking, if you are looking at shorting, wait for a break of this trend line. Long traders that want to trade with the momentum, then you're waiting for that change here. So you see here we've got this high, we've got previous structure lows, you're waiting for the market to create a new high, then we're pulling back, and that would kind of tell us then that the market from a lower time frame perspective is likely to start pushing into bullish momentum. So that's how we would use time frame correlation, looking to trade from one trend to another. So Bitcoin, we need either to see it push lower, breaking that trend line that I just showed you, or we need to see it break higher and confirm a new high and then look for a higher low. Now, Rune is a market that, you know, we've covered this quite a few times now. We highlighted the break of this trend line here, and looking to identify higher lows, which hopefully some of you have capitalized on, for those that understand the markets and look to get involved. The other focal point we said was a break of $17. We got a break of $17. Then this candle here, the 4 hour, I'm just going to zoom in on this because this was a kind of a perfect sort of opportunity to get long based on a false move back within the new all-time high. So if we just put this in here, we were saying look for longs on a break above 17. So the market pulled above 17. We've seen sellers trying to force a false breakout, and then anything above this high here you can see is pushing on towards $18-19, and we only see good things for Rune right now. Where could it potentially go to? Well, because we're at all-time highs, we're just going to have to kind of forecast based on a couple of technical factors that we can use. So I'm just going to pull in now our Fibonacci tool. We're just going to measure swing low to swing high, and I'm seeing 20.5 as first sort of target points to look at. And then measured move wise, we can start focusing on, right, well, where does the measured move come from? Well, we started here, this is where the rally came into. Let's take that from where the correction came in, and you'll see that's potentially up to $24, just short of $24 and short of the golden ratio. Next trading opportunities, depending if we can get to 21 in a straight line, then we can look for those higher lows to add in and potentially trade up towards $24, $25. Last chart for today, Dogecoin hitting new highs. We broke the 45-cent barrier, tested just short of $half. Those that really want to get involved in this market, then we could potentially see a move back down towards 0.4, and looking for technicals to get long on that move. But that's it, guys. Everything sorted for today, and hopefully you've enjoyed the information. If you did enjoy the information and the content provided from us here at Crypto Collective, please make sure you hit like, share and subscribe. Also remember, we are not financial advisors. This is purely educational content. If you are struggling with trading and you're not quite sure what to be doing, please seek professional advice. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.